With me I have Mr. Riyad Al-Maliki, the Palestinian Foreign Affairs Minister. So thank you very much for joining us here on RT. The Palestinian unilateral declaration of statehood that's scheduled for September at the United Nations, is it still on track? Because there have been recent noises that if negotiations between Israelis and Palestinians work out, then it will be cancelled.
Well, first of all, it wasn't our choice to go to the United Nations to seek recognition of the Palestinian state. Never been. Our intention has been always, until this moment, to get direct negotiations with the Israelis, and as a result of the direct negotiations, the emergence of a Palestinian state should take place. So a Palestinian state should come as a result of negotiations of an agreement between Israel and Palestine. This is it. Now, since last September, the Israelis have been avoiding committing themselves into serious negotiations. They have refused the request of the international community to cease and to stop settlement activities as international precondition for the resumption of negotiation. And since then, we did not have any kind of negotiations with the Israelis. So our position is that by September we should have a Palestinian state as it was promised to us by President Barack Obama, by the international community, by the Quartet, and everybody else's. We will be ready as Palestinians in building our own institutions. And so, September should yield to a Palestinian state either through direct negotiation with the Israelis, and this is really our preferred choice, or if that's not the case, we should seek UN recognition through, asking the UN to do so.
Do you think that the Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, is a partner for peace?
Frankly speaking, I don't think so. Because, he did so. He said it from the beginning, even before he was elected as Prime Minister. During his election campaign, he was very clear. He said no to a Palestinian state, no to withdrawal from the occupied territories, and that was really very clear. And yes to settlement activities, etc., etc. So he was very clear from the beginning in his position. He campaigned with an anti-peace platform and anti-Palestinian state platform. And when he tried to build his own coalition, he built it based on these, important elements. And so I cannot but to take into consideration what he has really said, how he has performed, what are his declared policies and actions, and also to judge him on his deeds since he took office until today. He did not show any kind of sign of willingness to be partner to peace with the Palestinians. He preferred maintaining his coalition government over negotiating with the Palestinians, and he preferred to continue with the settlement activities against having peace with the Palestinians. And so if that's the case, then yes, we lack a partner on the Israeli side. The international community has been very clear to this. We have heard statements coming from international leaders about that. I think this is really the conclusion that most of the international leaders have really reached. We have heard the telephone call that he had with Merkel recently, when she told him very clearly that he did not do anything really to progress the negotiations, and he has really to be blamed. If that's really the case, then I think he has to know that, and he has to take responsibilities for the lack of negotiations and for the lack of any kind of progress in the negotiations.
Well, considering all the variables, assuming you do go to the United Nations in September, are you not concerned that the United States will veto the whole motion?
Well, if we are going to the United Nations to seek recognition, we have to study that situation very well. But to tell you the truth, no. From now until September, we have to keep all options open. We should not really close the door on the resumption of negotiations. This is really should be always there, and we have to be ready. We are ready, to be directly involved in the negotiations immediately, 24 hours a day, to commit ourselves into a process of negotiations that should lead before September to a peace agreement that will allow a Palestinian state to be established next to the state of Israel. If that's really the case, the international community will find that the Palestinians are ready to be fully really engaged. We expect the international community to do something about it. We hear rumors that President Barack Obama might propose an idea. There are right now a certain resumption of contacts by the American administration, to see if there is a possibility to resume negotiations and under what kind of conditions, etc. So these are really possibilities. We have to contemplate that. We have to keep that open as an option. And a viable option, and really to see how things will go. We have said if we engage ourselves into these negotiations before September, and we reach September while we are still negotiating, we will continue negotiating during September and beyond September. This is really very clear, which means that negotiations is our priority before anything else. But these negotiations should really have a very clear terms of reference, and this is really very important. What are our terms of reference? First of all, that should be based on the 67 borders. This is very important. That the objective should be the creation of a Palestinian state next to the state of Israel. That East Jerusalem should be the capital of the Palestinian state. West Jerusalem the capital of the Israeli state. That while we are doing this, Israel should really refrain from any kind of unilateral action, including settlement activities. This is really very important. If these terms of reference are acknowledged and accepted by Israel as they are really contemplated right now by the quartet, then we are ready to engage in these kind of negotiations with the Israeli side. We are not going to take any kind of premature actions now, but we will prepare ourselves for September, and then of course it's not going to be us. The international community will ask on our behalf such recognition by the international community. So it's not going to be unilateral action by the Palestinians. It's going to be a collective action by the international community, because they consider, the international community, that solving the Palestinian problem is overdue, and September should be the deadline for a Palestinian state to emerge.
But so say September comes, the negotiations have failed, you're at the United Nations and the US vetoes the motion. What next?
Of course, but the possibility that the Americans will veto such a decision is there. And if that's going to be the case, then, we will contemplate what are really the options. We don't have that many options, very limited options. One of them is going really to the General Assembly and really asking the General Assembly to meet under United for Peace, and to seek international recognition for the state of Palestine. If not the case, it's possible that we go to the ICJ to ask their decision about the right of the Palestinians to have a Palestinian state. These are, one of the options that we are contemplating, and we will continue contemplating between now until September.
Why should Europe care? The Palestinian Authority is the single biggest recipient of European aid. Why should Europeans be paying for the Palestinian struggle?
Europe cares because, we are in the backyard of Europe, and instability here will affect also stability within Europe. There are huge minorities of people who live in Europe, of Arab dissidents or Muslims, etc., and also, they have shown their support and solidarity to the Palestinian cause. Not to mention also, economic interest, the geopolitics of the situation, what it means, Palestine and the whole region to the world, especially to Europe in terms of oil and gas. These are just, a combination of reasons why Europe should be interested, why United States of America should be interested, why Russia should be interested, while any country, should be interested about the situation here. Why South Africa is interested? Why you find out that India, Pakistan, Bangladesh is interested? Why Brazil, Argentina, Chile is interested? Why Mexico is interested? Each one, sees the situation from a different perspective. But each one feels that they have the obligation and the responsibility to take action and really to seek justice for the Palestinians.
So thank you very much for joining us here on RT.